Welcome back to the channel for round number 21 of 22 of the Formula One season. Thank you for everyone tuned in already. We've got 400 people watching. That's a record for a number of people waiting before a stream even starts. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It is great to have you here. Right, so let's get into today's race. We have a Mercedes front row lockout. We haven't had that in a couple of years now. Well, for the entirety of this season, Mercedes nowhere near a front row lockout in terms of pace. And this weekend, they have an opportunity to potentially go for that win. So we'll wait and see what happens there. George Russell will be starting leading the way in first place. Lewis Hamilton in second position. Yeah, lots to look forward to. We've got strategies to talk about. There are 4 different strategies that Pirelli have predicted for today, and all of them are pretty competitive with each other. Usually we only have 2 strategies, 3 that Pirelli predict, but 2 that only actually happen. Pirelli predicted 4 this time, and well, I cannot wait to see what the strategy battles we're going to have on the field. There are a couple more things to run through. We've got Yuki Tsunoda starting from the pit lane today, because, well, he was going to start, I think, in 18th or 19th place, and I think they changed the setup a bit on his car during park filming, breaking a bit of the rules. Well, not breaking the rules if you start from the pit lane. So yeah, they're going to start from the pit lane because they changed some of the setup on his car after the sprint race. And yeah, lots to look forward to. Track temperature. I said like a couple of minutes ago, the track temperature was 33 degrees. The sun has come out and track temperature is up to 51 degrees. That could definitely bring 2 stops into the play. It's going to be extremely interesting with the tyres because they wear out extremely quickly around here, only 20 or so laps. And well, they've worn out, especially the soft tyres. And with track temperature hitting 51 degrees, it's going to be all the more exciting. So I will have a quick run through of things to look out for. Of course, we're going to have Mercedes going for their first win of the season, and Alpine. So Alpine yesterday had a horrible day. We've got Fernando Alonso in 17th position, Esteban Ocon in 16th position. And yeah, these 2 drivers, they're going to have to make a pretty big recovery because they are in a championship battle, admittedly not for a driver's championship, for the constructors' championship. Between McLaren only, I think, oh, actually, the points have been updated since yesterday. Yesterday, there was a 7-point gap between McLaren and Alpine. Today, the points gap is now only 5 points. McLaren are only 5 points behind Alpine. And if McLaren actually end up ahead of Alpine, they get €4 million worth of prize money, like extra prize money. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Right. 50 hits 50k subscribers today. Maybe we are 706 subscribers away, and considering we started off the stream with a record of 400 people watching, why not, let's go and hit like the most number of viewers we've got on a stream, the most number of likes, the most number of subscribers as well. Why not? All right, 71 laps of racing here around Sao Paulo at Interlagos. Well, around Interlagos at Sao Paulo. Yeah, so let's have a look at the strategy. So Pirelli have predicted 4 different strategies. Potentially starting the race on the mediums might be the way forward. But they have said the fastest way to do this race is going to be starting the race on the soft tyres, then switching onto the mediums, and then going on to another set of mediums. But then the alternate strategy is start on the softs, go onto the mediums, then go onto the softs again. Now, if your tyre wear is slightly less, you might want to actually go for the soft, medium, soft strategy. It'll give you extra pace overall, but it all depends: tyre wear, track conditions, air temperature, track temperature, all of that plays into it. And then the third fastest strategy is start on the mediums, then go onto the hards. And then the 4th fastest strategy is start on the softs and then go onto the hards. The hard tyre is it's not extremely slow, but it is around about 1 full second slower per lap compared to the soft tyre. So it's a pretty big trade-off, but when you do go into the pits at this circuit, you lose 21 seconds under green flag conditions. So 21 seconds, pretty hefty amount of time. And yeah, we'll have to see how the teams decide to play around that. Of course, when there is a safety car, the drivers only lose 11 seconds. Safety car or virtual safety car, the drivers only lose 11 seconds, and 2/3 of the previous Grand Prix here, we've had safety cars, so pretty high chance of actually going under safety car conditions, and well, yeah, some drivers gaining, some drivers not. It's all very, very interesting indeed. Yeah, all right. Let's see. What are your predictions in the streamed? Well, for today's race, do be sure to let me know. Yeah, be sure to let me know what your predictions are for the stream today. Well, not for the stream, for the race, sorry. Yeah, we've got Magnussen still starting up in 8th place. That's very high for Haas. We'll wait and see what he can do. And both Ferraris pretty much on recovery drives. We had Sainz, who actually ended up in 2nd place after the sprint race yesterday, but he has a 5-place grid penalty because of taking his 6th internal combustion engine. So, yeah, Ferrari just running through engine components like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, so you usually only allowed 3 internal combustion engines, but here we've got Carlos Sainz with taking 6 in a season, doubling the allowed amount. So he's took 3 penalties across the course of the season, and here he is starting in 7th place today, and Leclerc up into 5th. So Ferrari's hoping for better, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, the other thing to consider here on this circuit, the battle between Russell and Hamilton. Going into turn number 1, the driver on pole position actually has the outside line rather than the inside line. There's 200 meters from pole position to the break to like the actual apex of turn number 1, and they're going to be braking for at least 50 meters or so. So there's only a solid 150 meters of acceleration for the cars to actually do as after the lights go out. So the critical start, like the start of your acceleration, which is where the soft tires are significantly better than the medium tires, well, is very important because of such a short distance. Like, say at Mexico, when you have such a long straight, maybe the initial portion of your start isn't so important because the slipstream is going to tow you along and make you make that overtake. Whereas at this circuit, because the distance is so small and it's only 200 meters, drivers are much better off starting on the softer tires and getting that initial launch off the line. To get away faster. Yeah, all right. So, well, to be fair, guys, we've had some pretty crazy stuff happen this weekend around Sao Paulo. We had K-Man get pole position, George Russell win the sprint race, and then I don't know who knows what will happen in today's Grand Prix. I mean, yesterday we had some brilliant racing all the way throughout the field, in fact. So right at the top between Verstappen and Russell and Verstappen and Hamilton. All the way through the middle of the field, Vettel overtaking like 3 cars at the end of the race, inter-team battles between Alonso and Ocon, between Stroll and Vettel. It was all going off, so lots to look forward to for today's race. All right, I will let you know once the tyre information comes through what tyres everyone will be starting on, but that will be at least 10 minutes or so before that comes through. All right, what else is going on the stream? Also, soft tires are 3.5 tenths faster than mediums. So per lap, we'll have to take that into account, of course, once we do get the tire information, see who's on which tires. And yeah. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else to talk about? Well, there's always lots to talk about. We've got, obviously, Mick Schumacher fighting for his seat at this point. His seat is the only seat that is open for next season. Everyone else's seat has either been confirmed or gone to another driver. So Mick Schumacher fighting for his seat now. Final 2 races of the season. We've got rumours that Nico Hülkenberg is going to be replacing Mick Schumacher, but they are all rumours. Haas haven't confirmed anything. We will have to wait and see what happens there because Mick Schumacher hasn't been performing well. Obviously, Magnussen got pole yesterday on Friday and Mick Schumacher down in 20th place. So pretty big gap. Of course, Magnussen was lucky, but nevertheless, like 20th place and even like 10th place, which Magnussen could have got. That's very, very big. So we're going to have to see how Mick Schumacher does. Of course, he did a great job starting in 20th, making his way up into 12th. So we'll wait and see if that progress can continue. And we'll see him up potentially into the points, yeah. All right. Let's see. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Very much do appreciate your support. We've got nearly 1,000 people. That's ridiculous. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. It definitely helps out the channel. Like, the more likes we get, the more people we have watching. And like, yeah, it basically just recommends it to more people in the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, it's wonderful because the more the merrier. All right, let's see. What else have we got to talk about? All right, So we've got like a quote, sorry, from Atmar Safna. It was a bit selfish of them to do what they did. We told them again, it's a team game. We have thousands of people working hard to make sure we finish fourth. And the last thing that we wanted is what happened yesterday. So yeah, Otmar Safner, the team principal of Alpine, not particularly happy about the way that Alonso and Ocon conducted themselves in the race yesterday. And yeah, obviously Ocon squeezed out Alonso, then Alonso crashed into Ocon going down the straight. So yeah, the team, Alpine having a bit of an inter-team rivalry. Ocon always seemed to have a bit of collisions with his teammates. Yeah, he had it with Sergio Perez multiple times, Spa 2017, Spa 2018, Azerbaijan 2018 as well, and like sometime in Singapore in 2019 as well. I'm not sure of all of the cases, but Esteban Ocon collides with his teammate pretty often. So we'll see how they play out. They are obviously starting pretty close to each other. Ocon in 16th, Alonso in 17th. So yeah, we'll see how that goes going into turn number 1. The weather conditions, we have completely dry weather conditions. Track temperature is currently 49 degrees, so extremely hot. So potentially the two-stop strategy might be the way forward because you won't be able to conserve your tyres in those high tide, like in those hot temperatures. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I'm not a strategist. We don't have all of the info, so yeah. All right. Let's see what else is going on. 13 minutes away now from the start of the formation lap, and we have all of the drivers up on the grid except for Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda is still in the garage because he is starting from the pit lane, but all the drivers currently on the grid, they're talking to their engineers, haven't got in the car just yet, and will be going racing pretty soon. All right, yeah, Latifi was pretty terrible this year, didn't really do much, fair enough, and I guess that's why he's being replaced by Nick de Vries next year. Oh no, it's not Nick de Vries, is it? Oh, it's, yes, who's Logan Sargent. It's Logan Sargent that will be replacing Nicholas Latifi if he can get enough super license points. So yeah, Logan Sargent now just driving around to try and get a feel for, to try and complete a certain number of kilometers. I think it's 300 kilometers or something in an F1 car before he gets his F1 super license. And then once you've got an F1 super license, you can become an F1 driver. So yeah, Logan Sargent on his way to do that and will be replacing Nicholas Latifi for next season. All right, let's see what else is going on. Greetings from South Africa. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, I mean we've got people all around the world. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. We're getting extremely close now, 50k. Yeah. Also, do remember to stay hydrated. Very important indeed. I'm just going to have a quick drink and then I'll get back to the commentary. What are you going to do at the end of the season? Are you going to post stuff? I'm planning to post short videos and potentially maybe a longer type of video, like maybe once every 2 weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough to keep up a schedule because I've got other stuff going on in my life as well. So yeah, I'll wait and see, but that's at least the plan. We'll see what happens. All right. So we've got, let's go through a lap of Interlagos as well. Actually, we haven't done that. So we have got, this is the Sao Paulo circuit. Of course, it's 3.7 miles, I think. And yeah, so we've got 15 corners, only like 12 of them being, 11 of them being actual corners. God, I'm fumbling all my words today. So we go down the start-finish straight. Drivers reach around 330 kilometers an hour going down this straight here. And then they reach turn number 1. And the turn number 1 is actually a very nice corner. It goes sort of downhill, but the banking just leans you into the apex. So you don't have to worry too much about missing the apex at turn number 1. Then at turn number 2, you've definitely got to hit that. It's slightly awkward to hit the turn number 2 apex, but once you do, your turn number 3 is very straightforward. So if you nail turn number 2, your turn number 3, very easy. If you mess up turn number 2, you lose. You like have a bad line through turn number 3, and then all the way down the next straight, you lose a lot of time. So yeah, the Senna S is turn number 1, 2, and 3. Well, turn number 1 and 2, sorry, is called the Senna S. And there is a DRS detection point, in fact, at turn number 2. So if you're slightly behind the driver, like if you're in an overtaking battle at turn number 2, the driver that's slightly ahead will not get DRS. The driver slightly behind will get DRS. So maybe we've seen some strategy games before. I think it was in Saudi Arabia where we saw Verstappen coming off the brakes early, coming off the accelerator and tapping the brakes slightly early to try and get the DRS going down the next straight. I don't think we'll see that, but we always see the switchbacks happening at turn number 2, and it is absolutely brilliant. So the drivers make their way through turn number 3, hug the inside of the corner, hug the apex really, to minimize the distance that they can travel, and then they go down this straight. Once again, DRS zone here. So if the overtake hasn't been completed properly through turn number 1 and 2, then they will be battling all the way down to turn number 4. And yesterday we saw Verstappen and Russell go side by side through 5 and 6 as well. So yeah, lots of opportunities to overtake around this circuit. So they go through into turn number 4. Turn number 5 really isn't a corner. Well, in fact, turn number 4, I'll just go through a little more clearly. So the drivers brake around the 70-meter mark, shift down into 4th gear, hit the apex, and as soon as they hit the apex, just come onto the throttle like a tiny little bit, and then they go, then they press the throttle like a lot harder once they've straightened the car out. The thing is, at turn number 4, we have track limits. That's the only real corner that we actually have track limits at on this circuit. We saw Russell get a warning, Verstappen get a warning. I think Vettel also got a warning as well. So yeah, just got to be careful at turn number 4, because if you do exceed track limits here too many times, you will get a penalty. So yeah, going through turn number 5 really isn't a corner in these cars, especially in dry conditions. The drivers just go through into turn number 6. Turn number 6, it's on a crest. So once you go up the crest and then you reach the other side, your car goes slightly light because you're going like over like a hill, over a little like it's kind of a big bump, but yeah, your car goes light over turn number 6, so the drivers have to be extremely careful on the steering. Then through turn number 7, just try and keep what you need to do at turn number 7, because your braking zone at turn number 8 is around about here. Your line through turn number 7, you basically like ignore turn number 7 and just make sure you're braking a straight line for turn number 8. And then you go through turn number 8, turn number 9 and 10, just a sequence of 3 hairpins really. And yeah, lots of overtaking can be done here on lap number 1 as well. So we'll wait and see what the teams and the drivers do. And then turn number 11, once again, just hug the apex as much as possible. And then through into turn number 12, the proper actual, like the actual last corner of the circuit. And then you go through all the way down the start-finish straight once again. So yeah, the DRS detection point for the start-finish straight is just outside turn number 13. So yeah, it's whoever's behind coming out of turn number 12 gets a DRS for that zone. And yeah, all right. A couple of other things to mention. In fact, if you look at all of the high-speed corners in this circuit, so if you look at turn number 3, that's a left-hander. Turn number 4, kind of medium speed, high speed, left-hander. Turn number 5, pretty high speed, once again a left-hander. And then you go through turn number 11. This is pretty high speed as well. The drivers are flat through here. That's a left-hander. Turn number 12, a left-hander. Then 13, 14, and 15, all of them are left-handers. There's only one high-speed corner, which is a right-hander, which is turn number 6. So the drivers have to be their front right tire, because they're turning left all the time, gets a lot hotter than their front left tire because they're turning right a lot less, especially in the high-speed corners. So the drivers have to manage their tire temperatures very properly, because otherwise, if one tire has too much wear compared to the other, then the drivers get some sort of weird like locking up behavior, and it's really unpredictable, really. So yeah, drivers have to like pay attention to that and make sure that they can manage those brakes and the tires effectively once they go through those corners. But that is a lap of Interlagos. There's 43 meters of elevation change on this circuit. So yeah, pretty up and down, pretty much a roller coaster. The drivers actually loved it yesterday. If you listen to their interviews, they were complimenting the circuit a lot because it is very enjoyable to drive. Even in the F1 game, I enjoy driving it. So yeah, we'll wait and see how the drivers do. We had brilliant racing. I mean, what more can you want from a circuit? Brilliant racing, the drivers having fun, and yeah, we haven't got balls everywhere, that there's gravel, and yeah, just absolutely wonderful. We've got 2,000 people tuned into the stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. And if you haven't subscribed as well, definitely help. That will definitely be appreciated. We're getting pretty close to 50k. But yeah, subscribe. The number of people that are liked, we're getting pretty close to now 300 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button already, then be sure to do so. Alrighty then. So we are now 4 minutes away from the formation lap getting underway. The drivers all into their cars now, and the engineers just doing the final checks on their on the setup and stuff before we actually go racing. So I will try and get the tire info as soon as I can, and then I'll run you through the strategy options. What strategy we expect the drivers to be doing at this circuit. All right then. So. And we've probably got some team radio coming through as well. So on this stream, if you're new here, I also play team radio that the drivers are saying through their mics. So yeah, be sure to stick around for that. Yeah, we haven't got any team radio. I think we had one team radio from Esteban Ocon, but that was from about 20 minutes ago. So it's a bit outdated and pointless right now. But yeah. All right, let's see. 3 minutes now till we get underway. All right, so let's go through the grid then. We have Yuki Tsunoda starting from the pit lane. He will be coming out in last place, of course, once he does that pit lane start. Then we have Alex Albon in 19th position, starting on the back row alone. Of course, Albon actually had a great qualifying up in 11th place, but the Williams just doesn't have the pace around this circuit. Dropped from 11th all the way to 19th. Not ideal, but yeah, really he doesn't have much control over the situation. And then we have Nicholas Latifi and Fernando Alonso starting alongside each other on the second to last row of the grid. Alonso getting a 5-second time penalty, in fact, like in the sprint race because of that collision with Esteban Ocon. So not great there. Then his teammate Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll, both drivers, pretty well known for having for having incidents with their teammates yesterday. And we'll see how they do. Then we got Guan Yu Zhou, Valtteri Bottas in 13th and 14th place. That's pretty nice for the Alfa Romeo boys. Hopefully they can score some points. Then we got Ricciardo in 11th, Schumacher in 12th. It'll be great to see Schumacher potentially scoring some points today. Then we got Gasly and Vettel starting in 9th and 10th. Of course, Vettel actually had a great Grand Prix, great sprint race yesterday. Started, I think, 15th or 16th, all the way up into 9th. So yeah, well, hopefully that race pace continues and we could get maybe get a Vettel podium. I mean, he's only got 2 races left. Give the man a podium, you know. But yeah, we can hope for that. We'll see what happens there. We've got Sainz in 7th position, Kevin Magnussen in 8th, of course. Kevin Magnussen, the hero of Friday, making it through onto pole position. Dropped down to 8th position in the sprint race yesterday. We'll see if he can maintain position or if he continues dropping down. And then we have Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc on the 3rd row of the grid. Leclerc looking to score some points, potentially get ahead of Sergio Perez in the Drivers' Championship for 2nd place. We'll have to wait and see. Then we have Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez on the 3rd row, or on 2nd row of the grid, starting in 3rd and 4th position. A Red Bull 2nd row lockout, and we'll wait and see what they can do from there. And then we've, of course, got Lewis Hamilton and George Russell starting on the front row. We haven't seen this in a long while now, and Mercedes haven't been getting got any sort of pace to get front row lockouts, really. But the sprint race worked out for them, qualifying worked out for them, and here they are, 1st and 2nd position at the start of today's race. All right, we're 1 minute away from the formation lap beginning, and then we will be racing very, very soon. There's lots of action to be found around this circuit. Turn number 1, we had incidents, yesterday between Gasly and Ocon overtaking. 2021, we had overtakes through turn number 4 and 5 between Verstappen and Hamilton, and then through turn number 6 and 7 we've had Gasly and Hamilton. Loads of drivers, loads of overtaking opportunities on this circuit, lots to look forward to. The tyre compounds that we have are the soft tyres are the C4s, medium tyres are the C3s, and the hard tyres are the C2s. The pace difference between the tyres are the soft tyres are the fastest, mediums are 3.5 tenths slower than the softs, and the hards are 1 full second slower than the softs. So that is that's the full rundown of today's Grand Prix. We're 3 seconds away from the formation lap beginning. All the engineers now got gathered at the side of the track. The formation lap is underway. and George Russell will be moving off the grid very, very shortly. All right then. Yeah, there he goes. Moving off the grid, and we have lots to look forward to. All right, guys, let me know what your predictions are in the chat. We'll wait and see if anyone. Yeah, let me know your bold predictions in the chat, and we'll see if we get close to that or not. All right. Tire info. Yes, let's get. Oh, actually, I'll probably have to refresh this website. Just give me 1 second, guys. There we go. All right, we've got the tire information. So we have Leclerc, Sainz, Magnussen, Schumacher, Stroll, Alonso, Latifi, and Tsunoda starting on mediums, Albon starting on hards, and everyone else on soft tires. So the top 4 starting on the soft tires. Then we've got Leclerc and Sainz, both Ferraris going on the alternate strategy, starting on the mediums. So is Kevin Magnussen. So both Haas cars, both Ferrari cars starting on the mediums. Then we have Ocon on the softs, Alonso on the mediums. So that's a bit strange there. But yeah, majority, well, actually, it's pretty close to a 50-50 split, soft tires or not soft tires. And yeah. All right, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. We're getting underway for today's Grand Prix. Lots to look forward to. And yeah. Tsunoda, he made changes to his car setup, so he broke the Parc Fermé regulations, and then he's going to be starting in the pit lane, so that's what's happening. All right. So here they go then. The drivers now just making their way around the grid. George Russell parking up in pole position slot on the right-hand side of the grid. Okay, so all of the drivers that have even odd numbers for their starting position, they have the cleaner side of the grid with more grip. So George Russell starting on the outside, starting on the right-hand side of the grid, and Hamilton starting on the left-hand side of the grid. So he has the inside line going to turn number 1. We'll wait and see what happens there, but George Russell's got the grippier side of the grid. We'll have to see how that plays out. Only a matter of time before we find out. And yeah, lots to look forward to now. So yeah, get some popcorn because this is going to be a great Grand Prix. All right then. So everyone has lined up on the grid, and all of the drivers now have started revving up their engines. The lights have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights, and it is lights out and away we go. George Russell gets a great start. Perez all over the back of Verstappen, but Verstappen's blocked him, and going into turn number 1, we got Russell, then Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez, Norris gaining places on Leclerc, Vettel up ahead of Magnussen, and going through now Ricciardo as well. Alonso up 2 positions, and then we got Russell with a very significant advantage over Hamilton going into turn number 1. Verstappen putting a lot of pressure onto the back of Hamilton as well. So drivers, here they go through the middle sector for the first time of this Grand Prix. Up into turn number 6, George Russell leading the way. Behind him is Hamilton and Verstappen and Perez. Top 4 have held position off the start of the race, but Norris was on those soft tyres, got ahead of Leclerc. Oh, we've got a yellow flag on the circuit. I think we might have some debris on the track. Yeah, we have a yellow flag right now. I'll keep you updated, but it looks like Ricciardo and Magnussen have got into a collision. We've got a full safety car right now. And Kevin Magnussen and Daniel Ricciardo have got into a collision. I'll get you a detail on the updates as soon as I can. But yeah, it'll probably be like 20 or 30 seconds before I get some updates. But yeah, both Ricciardo, Magnussen out of this race by the looks of it, because yeah, they've got into a crash. Safety car is out. And yeah, that's what's going on right now. So yeah, let's see. Tsunoda, that'll be good for Tsunoda actually. He started in the pit lane, but he's quickly been able to catch up, and of course the safety car is going to help him out. Does not look like anyone else is going into the pits. I think it was only Ricciardo and Magnussen that... Oh, it was very unfortunate. So what happened was Magnussen spun at the apex. Ricciardo was trying to avoid him, got pretty close, but what happened, Magnussen just did a full 360, and then the rear of Magnussen's car hit Daniel Ricciardo's car, and both of their rear wheels fell off. So yeah, so that's what happened there. Magnussen and Ricciardo both out of the race because of Magnussen's mistake, really. So Magnussen going through into turn number 7, braked slightly later, then went into a spin. Daniel Ricciardo went around went through the inside. Unfortunately, got caught out. No fault of Daniel Ricciardo's, but that is his race ruined. Well, race not ruined. It's completely over. And the same can be said for Kevin Magnussen. He spun going through turn number 7. That's his own mistake. But Daniel Ricciardo, there were 2 lines you could have took. You could have went around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, went down the inside of Kevin Magnussen. Unfortunately, Danny Rick went down the inside and then got hit by the Haas car. So that's what happened there. Not much else that I can say. So yeah, can we get an F in the chat there for Daniel Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen? Pretty unfortunate, to be honest. I don't know what else I can really say. Also, if you haven't hit the like button, please be sure to do so. It definitely helps out the channel. We're getting pretty close to 500 likes. Would very much be appreciated. We're getting, in fact, so close to our subscriber goal, like 50k. That is ridiculous. Also, hello, C. Paul. Thank you for tuning in. I mean, actually, everyone, I'd love to read out all your names. Adrian Anderson, Harry Bennett, X Squid, Bear, Buddy, Bella, I don't know, Tiago, everyone, it's Ramel, everyone that's tuned in, very much appreciated. I mean, it's crazy to think 6,000 of you are here watching. So, yeah. All right, lap number 3 of 71 now. We're still under safety car conditions. The marshal's clearing away the cars. We're going to need 2 cranes. It'll be a bit of a while because the escape road is fairly far away. Yeah, what would be the tyre tactics? Well, the tyre tactics, Pirelli said that the fastest strategy that they predict is going to be starting the race on the soft tyres, going onto the medium tyres, and then doing another lap onto the medium tyres. So that is the fastest strategy according to Pirelli. Then they also said the alternate strategy, soft tyres, medium tyres, then soft tyres. And then the third fastest strategy is starting on the mediums, then going on to the hards, which we could potentially see actually from maybe Leclerc or Sainz. And then, of course, the slower strategy, but it's probably not that slow. It's probably slow in these conditions because track temperature is so hot. But if track temperature is cooler, starting the race on the soft tyres and going on to the hards might have been the ideal strategy. But of course, when we have track temperatures at 49 degrees Celsius, that is absolutely scorching hot. We're not doing a one-stop strategy, probably isn't suitable. Oh, actually, you know how I said it wasn't Daniel Ricciardo's fault? We've just got a replay from Daniel Ricciardo. He nudged Kevin Magnussen going through that corner. Daniel Ricciardo nudged Kevin Magnussen. That put Magnussen into a spin, and then it was very much just karma from there. So Daniel Ricciardo hit Magnussen. Magnussen goes into a spin, and because of that spin that Daniel Ricciardo caused, Magnussen crashes into Ricciardo. So, yeah, as Fernando Alonso would put it, karma. But yeah, not great really. Kevin Magnussen just getting caught out. Well, not even getting caught out, just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, really. So that's what's happened there. We have team radio from Kevin Magnussen, so let's play this. All right.
Sorry guys, I'm out. I got a massive push.
That. Yep.
Someone.
Damn shame, Kev. Good point up to there.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, Kevin Magnussen, of course, on Friday he had the best day ever, and now he's down, DNF'd on the first lap. Very much a roller coaster of emotions over the course of the weekend for Kevin Magnussen. Don't know what else I can really say, but yeah, very unfortunate there for the Danish driver. We've got loads of replays of it, but yeah, unfortunately, K-Mag and Daniel Ricciardo both out of the Grand Prix. There's no chance their cars can be fixed. So yeah, we're still under safety car conditions. The Marshal's doing a pretty good job of cleaning up all of the debris, and we should be good to go in terms of racing very, very soon. All right. George Russell, I think this might be the first time George Russell's actually leading a safety car restart, like at least in Formula One, because, yeah, I don't think George Russell's led a safety car restart. That will be pretty interesting to see how he deals with that. And I think we have got a safety car in this lap, maybe. Let me just confirm that for you guys. By the looks of it, no, we have not. We have not got a safety car in this lap. George Russell's following the car pretty closely. So no safety car this lap. Not in this lap, at least. And yeah, Kevin Magnussen looks rather sad, just stood there at the side of the track with his helmet. Don't know, yeah, feel very sad for him, very bad for him, but it is what it is. It's racing, really. Don't know what else I can really add to that. So, George Russell leading the way now. Well, let's go through. Vettel gains quite a lot of positions up into 8th place there. Schumacher also gaining 2 positions. And Ocon and Alonso still holding position. Alonso wasn't able to overtake Ocon going through the start of the race. And we've got Alex Albon coming into the pits. Alex Albon was previously on the hard tyres. And yeah, also, yeah, it was Kevin Magnussen's 100th race for Haas. Yeah, it's all just, the more that we think about it, the worse it gets for K-Mag. So we'll just leave that topic for now. And we got Alex Albon going into the pits. He went out, he was on the hard tyres. Maybe, I don't think the hard tyres are the way forward. So he's come into the pits now to switch on to a different strategy. And yeah, they are going to be investigating the collision between Magnussen and Ricciardo after the race, but I don't think it really matters since they both did end up DNFing. But Albon comes out on the medium tyres. So all of the grid now, pretty much 50-50 between medium and soft tyre runners. We'll wait and see which strategy works out in the end. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Are we getting a safety car restart on this lap? Once again, no. Yeah, the issue is basically the part of the track where they crashed, the escape road, like to pick up all of the cars and take them back to the pit garage, is really far away, and they have to get 2 cranes because there's 2 cars. So it's taken them a while to pick all the cars, but we've now done, I think, 4 laps under safety car conditions. And yeah, probably maybe 1 or 2 more, but then we will be underway racing. Yeah, we've got one of the cars, Daniel Ricciardo's car has been picked up by the crane. Well, by the tractor or the crane, whatever you want to call it. And I'll find out what's happened to Kevin Magnussen's car pretty soon. All right. Yeah. So let me know what your predictions are for the safety car restart. Albon wants to go 71 laps on the hards. I mean, to be fair, Albon did that. I think right at the start of the season out of Australia, he did like 50 laps on a set of hard tyres, which was ridiculous, by the way, and still ended up scoring points. So, yeah, great job there from Alex Albon, but going on the medium tyres, I don't think he'll be able to do 66 or 65 laps on those. And, yeah. All right. We've just got a replay here. Lando Norris nearly just cut the inside of turn number 1 on the opening lap. So, I don't think anything's going to happen of that because he was still on the curb, but he locked up going into turn number 1, and then had to get out of the way. Otherwise, Sergio Perez would have ended up hitting him. All right. We've got apparently the safety car is ending. We'll find out. What did Aiden say? Aiden is typing. Oh, on my phone, is that? Oh, right. That is not ideal. Aiden is typing. All right, we have a safety car restart. I forgot to turn off notifications there. I guess if Aiden is watching the stream, he will see his name pop up. Slightly awkward, but here we are. Right, safety car restart. We got George Russell leading the way for his first ever safety car restart on leading like from P1 in Formula 1. So here he goes now, coming through turn number 15. I was very confused why everyone said Aiden is typing. I was like, I know Aiden in real life, but who is Aiden in chat? Like, anyway, back to the race. George Russell leads the way. Hamilton very close behind him. And in fact, we've got nearly 3-way battle into turn 1. Verstappen gets ahead of Hamilton going into turn 1. What an overtake. Hamilton's going to fight this back, though, going through into turn number 4. Side by side through turn number 3. Verstappen on the inside, Hamilton on the outside. And Perez goes through, and we've got Verstappen down 7 positions. Verstappen's got damage, and so has Hamilton. Both drivers collided, and Verstappen's lost 7 positions. Hamilton's lost 6. Absolutely tragic. Russell leads the way with Sergio Perez up in second place. Both Verstappen and Hamilton have collided with each other and are well, significantly further down the field. There's debris all over the track now. Verstappen in 8th, Hamilton in 9th. Looks like Hamilton's lost an entire front wing. And once again, we have got a full safety. We've got a yellow flag. Sorry, not a full safety. I forgot to change it back to green flag, but I guess it doesn't matter too much because, we're still under yellow flags now. Leclerc's dropped all the way to the back as well. Leclerc's got issues. This is all kicking off. Oh, we could get a Vettel podium here. We've got Verstappen and what am I doing? I'm putting green flag up on the track now. Yeah. So Verstappen's all out. Well, not out, but Verstappen, I think he's going to come into the pit. So is Hamilton. And then we have Leclerc all the way at the back of the field. This is crazy, right? So let's see who comes into the pits then. Does Verstappen comes into the pits. Hamilton stays out. So it looks like Hamilton might have just spun. Leclerc had a crash. I don't know exactly what happened there, but I'll keep you updated on everything. But it looks like Leclerc came into the pits. We'll see if he comes back out again. But Norris is in a podium place spot. We got Russell in first, Perez in second, Carlos Sainz in third. We've got all of the number 2 drivers currently at the top in the top 4. No idea what's going on here. So Leclerc comes into the pits. Verstappen comes out of the pits. He's onto the medium tires. Is Charles Leclerc going to come out of the pits, or has he got an issue? I'll get a radio. I'll get some radio coming through as well. Right, we've got radio from George Russell. All right. Oh, Max Verstappen radio, actually. Let's have a listen. Is this going to play? There we go.
You let me know, please. Front wing guys.
Yep, we are boxing, Max. Box.
Yep, so apparently Hamilton left no space for Max Verstappen, and yeah, there we go. Right, let's just check what George Russell has to say on that.
So when lights are going off, you're going to dictate the pace.
Yes, I was just on the safety car restart. Verstappen had a 10-second pit stop. He had to replace his front wing. Sainz ahead of Norris. Sainz makes the overtake into turn 1. Brilliant overtake, by the way. DRS was activated after the safety car. Sends one down the inside. And Lando Norris into 4th. But Vettel up in 5th. We could see this. We could see a Vettel podium. I said this at the start of the stream. It would be ridiculous if it happened. But nevertheless, I mean, Vettel up in 5th position. We got other drivers out of position. Who knows what will happen? Hamilton looks like he's got damage to the rear of his car, like partially the side pod and the floor, that kind of area. And Verstappen's got front wing damage. Of course, Verstappen came in, got a front wing replaced, so he should be good to go for the rest of the stream. Rest of the race. Sorry. But yeah, it's pretty tricky out there. All right. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. It definitely helps out the channel. We're getting pretty close to nearly 750 likes now. And if you haven't subscribed, we're now 495 subscribers away from the sub goal. So, go ahead and subscribe and do that. So we got Hamilton up into 7th place. Looks like he hasn't got too much damage. Still able to overtake Mick Schumacher. So, right. So let's see what happened here. So Verstappen went round the outside, then going through turn number 2. Oh, this is an exact replay of 2019. This time Verstappen doesn't get spun around. 2018, sorry. If you remember 2018 Brazil, Ocon and Hamilton had a collision at turn number 2. Oh, no, Ocon and Verstappen had a collision at turn number 2. And basically Ocon closed the door at that occasion. And the same thing has happened here. Hamilton closes the door on Max Verstappen, and Hamilton said it's no racing incident, where Hamilton was the one closing the door. Now we'll just have to wait and see what happens there, what the FIA decide. But Leclerc had a pretty severe crash into the wall. So let's see what happened. Lando Norris clipped the curb, and then ended up hitting Charles Leclerc into a spin. So both McLarens, in fact, hitting other drivers into spins. Very strange there. But Hamilton, on his way, making progress once again, overtakes Pierre Gasly, and now up into 6th place. We could potentially see Hamilton back up all the way at the front. Verstappen, though, setting purple first sectors. Leclerc setting fastest lap of the race. Admittedly, they're at the back of the pack. A safety car could save them, but it's going to be a long while until they catch all the way back up to the front. So... Wow, what a first couple of laps. We had a crazy safety. We had a crash at the start of the race. We had a crash at the safety car restart. Luckily, no safety car after that. But we're now 11 laps into the race. We've had 6 cars being involved in a collision. Absolutely crazy. What happened to Verstappen and Leclerc? So Verstappen got the door closed on from Hamilton. Hamilton closed the door on Verstappen. Verstappen lost his front wing, had to come into the pits. Hamilton lost, I think, an end plate by the looks of it. Not too much damage for Hamilton's car, but it is under investigation by the FIA for Hamilton causing a collision. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We're going to get some more team radio. We've got some Hamilton team radio, so let's have a listen to this. Ooh, yeah. So Hamilton coming over the radio saying it's no racing incident, even though I think Hamilton was the one who closed the door. But we'll have to wait and see. The stewards are going to decide it. I'm not the one deciding. So there we are. Okay, lap number 12 of 71. George Russell holding a 1.5 second lead over Sergio Perez. It's looking pretty tough for Sergio Perez to actually catch up to this. Hamilton on the back of Sebastian Vettel going into turn number 1. Does he make that overtake stick? No, he does not. He plays it a bit safe, goes for the switchback into now turn number 4. But the thing is, Vettel also has DRS off Norris, so it's going to be pretty difficult to see how that plays out for Lewis Hamilton. So going through now into turn number 4, all of them 3 cars in a line, and nobody makes a move there. Bottas overtakes Stroll to lead the DRS train. So we got Bottas, Stroll, Ocon, Alonso, and Zhou all in a DRS train. So DRS train, choo-choo. Does Norris have a penalty? Norris and Leclerc both under investigation. So are Verstappen and Hamilton. And yeah. So we will just have to wait and see. Both of the things are under investigation. I hope they decide the penalties pretty quickly. Otherwise, it's going to ruin the race later on. We'll find out like 2 laps before the end of the race that Norris has a 5-second time penalty, so won't get a podium or something. That'll be pretty ridiculous. So hopefully in the next 3 to 4 laps, they will get we'll get an info on what the penalty situation is. But Bottas overtakes Stroll. I said that before. Bottas already overtook Stroll. And we've got Latifi losing 2 positions to Tsunoda and Albon. Ocon, in fact, overtakes Stroll now. So Stroll losing lots of positions. Of course, Stroll's on those medium tyres. Ocon's on those softs. So going into turn number 1, it's pretty straightforward. Who has more slow speed grip? And there we go. All right. I was late, so what caused Max to go to the back of the grid? Collision with Hamilton. The stewards are going to decide the penalty, not me. But there we are. Hamilton still on the back of Seb Vettel and not actually being able to make an overtake because Norris is providing DRS and slipstream for Vettel. Hamilton can't actually gain enough top speed, like going down the straight, to actually make an overtake. So Hamilton is stuck in 6th place behind Seb Vettel. He's been trying to overtake him for a couple of laps. He gets closer and closer. The DRS helps him out, but he's nowhere near close enough to even send a dive bomb. I mean, sending a dive bomb from like 3-4 car lengths back is absolutely ridiculous, especially for Hamilton. He knows he's a well-experienced driver. He can wait for an opportunity. And yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens there. All right. So what else is going on at the top of the leaderboard? We got the gap between Perez and Russell, 1.5 seconds, pretty big up there. We'll see if Perez can close that up, but it's going to be pretty tough. Also, Hamilton just makes the overtake on Seb Vettel. As I was saying, it's extremely hard to make the overtake. Hamilton just sends one down the inside. I mean, this must be like reverse commentator's curse or something. I say it's hard and the drivers just do it. But yeah, I will get an update on the penalty situation let's see. So we've got a 5-second time penalty for Norris for causing a collision, and we've got a 5-second time penalty for Verstappen for causing a collision. Now, I don't know how that goes, but Verstappen's got a 5-place time penalty, and so has Lando Norris. They'll serve that on their next pit stop. And yeah, we got a team radio from George Russell. Let's have a listen to this.
It's important to go long. We need to open that gap.
All right, so George Russell going for a long strategy, and yeah. All right, we got team radio from Alex Albon. Albon in 14th place. Let's have a listen. I'm not particularly sure what that's from, but I think it was just an overtake that he made on Tsunoda, to be honest. Yeah. Also, guys, remember to stay hydrated. It's very important, so be sure to drink some water. I'm just going to drink some now as well, so my throat's all right while commentating. Okie dokie, right. We've nearly got 1,000 likes, by the way, so if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. And if you haven't subscribed as well, would very much be appreciated if you did so. We're getting extremely close to 50k now, less than 500 subscribers. We've got 9,000 people watching, so I definitely think that can happen. But let's get back to this commentary. So Hamilton overtakes Lando Norris. Lando Norris does not put up a fight. To be expected. Norris already knows he's got a 5-second time penalty. He might as well just try and stick behind Hamilton, maybe get some DRS and charge up his battery a little bit. So Hamilton is, he's coming back up to the front now, and we'll wait and see what he can do. Will he get past Sainz? Will he get past Perez? Sainz, of course, on the medium tyres, so still doing a pretty good job. Only 4 seconds behind Sergio Perez on the mediums is very nice. Why does Ricciardo have no penalty? Because Ricciardo is out of the race, so giving him a penalty for after DNFing is pretty pointless. Fernando Alonso comes into the pits. We're on lap number 16, so that's pretty early pit stop there from Fernando Alonso, but comes out on the medium tyres. All right, let's see now. Verstappen is 6 seconds away from Nicholas Latifi. Leclerc holds the fastest lap of the race. And looking at the pace, we've got Verstappen and Leclerc doing basically identical lap times as Perez and Sainz up at the top of the grid. So it's, pretty good. Pretty good laps from there. Also, Still I Rise has just donated. Max I hate on God shall still we rise. Well, still we rise. Hamilton doing a great job actually rising up that leaderboard very nicely. But thank you very much for the donation. I mean even donating is definitely not necessary. You guys don't need to donate, but thank you for expressing your gratitude. I'm not exactly sure what I was trying to say there, but very much do appreciate it. Let's see. Back at the front, Perez has actually dropped off the back of George Russell. The pace difference between Sergio Perez and George Russell. Perez made a little bit of a mistake going through the middle sector, and George Russell's got away from him. So, it's looking tough there. Also, Vettel on the back of Norris. Oh, this could get spicy. Remember when Norris said he should just focus on driving? Well, here comes Seb Vettel. Swoops around the outside of Lando Norris into turn number 1. Nicely done from the 4-time world champion, and he's up into 5th position. Great drive there from Seb Vettel. And he's ahead of Lando Norris. Let's see, can Lando Norris fight back now going into turn number 4? Looks like Norris has got the DRS and going through now into the braking zone. Norris too far back to make a move and plays it safe. And Seb Vettel up into 5th place. Absolutely wonderful. Let's go. Right. So here we are then. We are now 17 laps into the race, and we've got Vettel up in 5th place, which is brilliant. Russell still leading the way. And in fact, George Russell hasn't lost position. He's been leading every single lap so far. So good job there from George Russell. And Okie dokes. Chances that Russell wins. Well, it's predicted that Russell's going to have a 2-stop strategy unless he goes onto the hard tyres, which would be a bit ridiculous. So there's still 2 pit stops that there could be like an incident or something that causes Russell to end up like losing out places. So we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Also, guys, we're like a couple of likes away from 1,000 likes, so that would very much be appreciated. If you do hit the like button. Right, so we've got Carlos Sainz into the pits, first of the front runners to come into the pits. He was originally in 3rd position, comes out on the soft tyres. So he started on the mediums, now out onto the soft tyres. We'll wait and see how that works out for him. Is he going to have a very attacking stint? Admittedly, he is in a bit of traffic there. Once he comes out, he's got Alex Albon ahead of him, so he's going to have to overtake Albon very quickly. Of course, the soft tyres will make it pretty straightforward. And then he has Lance Stroll and a bit more traffic ahead of him to catch up for. But this is the undercut strategy, so they're going to try and go fast here, Ferrari. And by the time George Russell comes into the pits, hopefully Carlos Sainz is ahead of Russell. That'll be the undercut strategy, the ideal undercut strategy if Ferrari have played their strategy cards right. But of course, it is Ferrari, so who knows? So there we are. All right. Verstappen now onto the back of Latifi. So it's been a couple of laps. The gap was previously 6 seconds. Now it's down to 2 seconds. And we'll wait and see what he can do there. But Russell still leading the way. Perez keeping him honest at 2 seconds, but it's not looking great. Also, the pit window has pretty much opened now. If the drivers who started the race on the soft tyres, which is the top 8 drivers now, within the next 3 to 4 laps, they will start coming into the pits because those soft tyres are going to wear out, especially on these heavy fuel loads. They've got nearly 100 kilos of fuel in the car right now. So that's going to be wearing out those soft tyres a lot more than expected. So they'll be coming to the laps in the next couple of, they'll be coming to the pit, in the next couple of laps. And we'll wait and see what they can do. But Carlos Sainz with a purple first sector overtakes Alex Albon. Also, let's have a quick look at these top speeds that the drivers are hitting on today's race. So we've had Esteban Ocon with the highest top speed of 330 Ks, but that was with a very big slipstream in tow. And then we have Sainz with 310, and the rest of the drivers are hovering around about between 310 and 320. But most of the drivers haven't had much DRS, so that's why they're down in the 300 kilometer per hour range. And yeah, all right then. So let's see what else is going on. Also, Carlos Sainz has a couple of steaming brakes there. Not sure what's going on with Carlos Sainz's brakes, but it looks like he's had a bit of issues. We'll see what happens there. Gasly into the pit. So the first driver out of the top 8 to come into the pits now. Lap number 20 of 71. And yeah. Also, guys, we're like 4 likes away from 1,000 likes, 2 likes away from 1,000 likes, and what now? 358 likes, subscribers away. So go ahead and subscribe and like. That would be wonderful. But I'm not going to ask you to do that too much now. I've already done it quite a lot of times. So let's just get right into this commentary. Gasly out of the pits. Let's see what tyres he comes out on. He comes out on the medium tyres there for the Frenchman. We'll wait and see what he can do on those. But yeah, Pirelli expected drivers to start out on the softs, go onto the mediums, and then go onto the mediums once again. And most teams have been going for that strategy. We've got Zhou on that strategy, Gasly on that strategy, so is Verstappen. Admittedly, Verstappen had a bit of an early pit stop because of that crash, but nevertheless, doing all right there is the Dutchman. He overtook Nicolas Latifi, now onto catching up to Yuki Tsunoda. And yeah. All right then. Let's see. Who else has come into the pits? We've got Tsunoda into the pits now. He was on the medium tyres originally, so the medium tyre runners are also pitting quite early. Slightly unexpected, to be honest, because the mediums could probably do 25, 30 laps or something. And we also had a couple of laps under the safety car. You got to remember, at the start of the race, we had, I think, between lap number 1 and lap number 6 under safety car conditions. So yeah, it's not ideal. Well, no, sorry, it is ideal for the drivers on the soft tyres. They can do a couple of extra laps here and there, but I don't see why the medium tyre runners are pitting so early. Tsunoda out onto the soft tyres now, and Latifi also coming into the pits. He was out on the hard tyres. So it looks like Latifi's going for just a solid one-stop, just going, screw this 21-second time in the pit lane. We're just going to go for a one-stop by the looks of it. So we'll see how that works out for him. Carlos Sainz overtakes Mick Schumacher. So now he's catching up to the drivers who are on old sets of softs. We'll see what Sainz can do from there. But if George Russell does pit, he's only going to come out. He's going to come out like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz. So Sainz hasn't gained that much time yet. He's setting lap times at half a second faster than George Russell. But he's going to have to do that consistently for about 5-6 more laps before he actually gets within overtaking range of George Russell. And yeah. All right. Charles Leclerc into the pits once again. That is extremely strange. Leclerc might be coming in to retire. He's done 13 laps on those mediums, and it's not looking good for him. So I'll let you know what happens to Charles Leclerc, but he's only done 14 laps on the mediums. So a bit strange that he's pitting so early. But yeah. Oh no, he's coming back out of the pit lane, I think. Yeah, there he is. What is he doing? Is he just bolting on some hards and just going, right, we're going to the end of this race here? No, he's putting on soft tyres. Ferrari, excuse me, what? Leclerc has only done 13 laps on medium tyres. Why are you putting him onto soft tyres? Unless he's locked up his front, his hard tyres. I don't know why you've put him onto soft. Unless he locked up his medium tyres, why are you putting soft tyres on? Ferrari strategy. I mean, Ferrari. You know when they say do what the other person doesn't expect. That's exactly what Ferrari are doing. They always do the unexpected, and it's the unexpected always in a bad way. So Ferrari are just doing Ferrari things, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I think it's Plan C for clown. That's what it is. Don't know what else I can really say. Yeah, Plan C for clown or Plan F for just F in the chat. But Master Mattia Binotto doing what Ferrari does best. All right. Anyway, back up at the front. Perez has actually been dropped by Russell. Perez now 4 seconds behind George Russell, so that gap is getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Can Perez close that up? Maybe in a pit stop, maybe with an undercut or something. But it's going to be pretty tough for him to actually do that. I don't know what else really is going to happen. So yeah. All right, Sergio Perez into the pits now, so he will be probably triggering a set of undercuts. Admittedly, the gap was 4 seconds, so Mercedes don't have too much to worry, but if Russell has a slow pit stop or something, then it could mean that Sergio Perez comes out in the lead of the race. Also, look at this, Seb Vettel up in third place. You love to see it. Vettel out in third. And Sergio Perez, here he comes now out of the pit lane. Is he going to get out ahead of Lando Norris, Bottas, Sainz and Ocon? Because if he doesn't, oh no, he does not. Look, here he is coming out just behind Valtteri Bottas. He's going to be stuck in a bit of traffic here on those medium tyres. He's got fresh sets of mediums, but he's stuck behind Bottas and Norris. And this is critical time when he needs to actually push very hard to try and close the gap up to George Russell. Where he's now stuck behind traffic. So it looks like Red Bull mistimed that pit stop or had a little bit of a slow pit stop as well. Yeah. No, Red Bull had a fast pit stop, but they just mistimed it, I think. So Perez now stuck in traffic behind Bottas and Norris by the time. Yeah, so here he goes now. Perez will be trying to overtake Bottas as soon as he can. Probably potentially try and do a double overtake. Perez gets past Bottas going through into turn number 10. That is a very unorthodox place of making an overtake, but if it works for Sainz, then it does. So there he goes. Oh no, it's not Sainz. Sorry. If it works for Perez, then it does. Perez now overtakes Norris as well. Norris and Bottas both come into the pits now, so it doesn't really matter too much. Both the drivers into the pits. Russell comes out the pits now. What is the gap between Perez and Russell once they emerge from the pit lane? Also, look at this. Vettel, is he come out ahead of Russell or is he going to be behind? Let's see. Vettel's behind Russell, but the gap between Perez and Russell, which is the main gap that we have to focus on, is currently 3.5 seconds. So the undercut slightly worked. They gained half a second or so, but it's not that big of an advantage that they would have hoped for. All right. Someone asked in the chat, how does DRS work? Basically, if you're a second behind the driver in front of you, you get DRS, and DRS is a flap in your rear wing. And if you open it up, you get a bit of extra top speed. So that's basically what it is. You just get a bit of extra top speed to help with some overtaking. And yeah. All right, we got Hamilton in the lead of this race, still yet to pit. Vettel still yet to pit as well. And we've got Stroll yet to pit. So only Vettel, Stroll, and Hamilton yet to pit. We could see potentially Vettel go maybe 30 laps. If he could do 30 laps or 35 laps on those soft tyres, well, 35 laps would be a bit of a stretch. But if he could do 30 laps on those soft tyres, he could potentially just do a one stop and just go straight to the end on set of mediums. That would be great, and then potentially score some points, maybe get a podium. I mean, I'm really hoping for a Vettel podium here, but something crazy and unpredictable would have to happen for that. But you know, we can hope. Yeah. All right. Lap number 26 of 71 now, so we are now more than 1/3 of the way through. And Max Verstappen has a bit of a slow pit stop. He comes out now. Well, he came out a couple of laps ago on soft tires, but he's doing a slow pit stop, so I don't know how that's happened there. But Alex Albon into the pits after doing 21 laps on the medium tires. So yeah, the medium tires should have done 21 to 25 or so laps, and yeah, so Alex Albon's done them justice, but with now, what, 50 or so laps remaining? Not 50, sorry, 45 laps remaining. What's he going to do? He's going to come out onto the medium tyres and hopefully do 45 laps on those mediums. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Oh, Verstappen also had a 5-second penalty. So yeah, Verstappen had a slow pit stop and also a 5-second penalty. So it wasn't just the penalty that slowed him down. It was also the pit stop. He had some issues putting the tyre on. So yeah, we have some team radio from Carlos Sainz. He's up in 4th position. Also, Vettel now coming into the pits. So maybe he could do the remainder of the race on mediums. We'll have to wait and see. But let's have a listen.
Are we on a 2 or a 3? Important to know.
The moment we are on a 2, the egg is looking better than expected.
All right, so it is a 2-stop strategy. Yeah. It's a 2-stop strategy for Carlos Sainz. I don't know what else really to say, but yeah. Leclerc having 3 pit stops. No, Leclerc's only had 2 pit stops. That's 3 sets of tyres he's done. But they will end up doing 3 pit stops by the looks of it because, yeah, he's not going to be able to go to the end on those soft tyres. Yeah. All right. So Vettel comes into the pits now. He's out in 9th place, unfortunately. Admittedly, he has slightly fresher tyres than Bottas, and in fact on the back of the train now. So he could be very much on his way. Stroll's yet to pit, and Alonso is still yet to pit. Well, Alonso will have to do another pit stop because you can't do 2 laps. You can't only use 1 tyre compound. You have to use a minimum of 2 different tyre compounds. So Alonso will probably be pitting sometime soon. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. All right, if Lewis Hamilton does pit, he will come out behind Carlos Sainz. So yeah, you lose 22 seconds in a pit stop. So he'll come out behind Carlos Sainz. But if there is a safety car or a virtual safety car for some reason, then Hamilton's going to come out ahead of Sergio Perez and then end up being a Mercedes 1-2. So that's what's happening there. The total pit time, so you lose 21 seconds in the pit lane. When you go in for a pit stop. If there's a safety car, then you'll lose 11 seconds. But yeah, 21 seconds that you lose in the pit lane. So there we are. All right, we got Valtteri Bottas overtaking Pierre Gasly for up into 7th position there. Nice job there from Valtteri Bottas into turn number 4. Nice overtake. And next up is Fernando Alonso on his overtaking list. All right. Yeah, Hamilton very much stretching those tyres. 27 laps on the softs. Looks like he might actually be able to go for a 1 stop because there's only 43 laps remaining now on this race. So yeah, there's definitely a chance that he could do 43 laps on those medium tyres. So there we are. All right. Also, if you haven't hit this like button, be sure to do so. We're getting pretty close to 10,000 people watching the stream. That is absolutely crazy. And we're getting so close to our subscriber goal as well. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. All right. Back at the front of the field, though, gap between Perez and Russell still 4 seconds. It's not been getting any closer. But the thing that has been getting closer is Carlos Sainz on Sergio Perez. The gap is only 2.5 seconds now. And we'll potentially see Sainz get some places up on Sergio Perez. That would be great to see. All right. Vettel also makes the overtake on Pierre Gasly. Nicely done there from Seb Vettel. He sends one down the inside. Pierre Gasly can't do much about it. Vettel got the slightly fresher tyres as well. And it looks like Vettel's just got more pace. He's looking very quick today, especially compared to his teammate, Lance Stroll. Admittedly, Stroll's on a different strategy, but Vettel's still doing a good job. And we'll wait and see what the teams decide to do. I mean, look at this. From 7th all the way to 12th place, everyone is on the same strategy of starting out on the soft tyres and then going on to the mediums. Also, Hamilton's just come into the pits now. But all of the drivers from 7th to 12th, all doing the same strategy. We'll see if they go onto a 2-stop or if they conserve those tyres, which it looks like they're doing. Looking at their lap times, we've got Vettel 1 minute 17, Gasly 1 minute 18, Ocon 1 minute 16.5 or something. All of the drivers conserving their tyres very much. So we could see the drivers do a 1-stop. We'll have to wait and see, though. It depends on tyre temperature and track temperature. So it's 43-degree track temperature there. And yeah, that's fairly hot. but it's very much in the window. See, if it was like 50-degree track temperature, it's 100% a two-stop. And if it's like 30-degree track temperature, it's 100% a one-stop. But at 40 degrees, it's very much touch and go. You could do one strategy, end up being quicker, or you could do the other strategy and end up being quicker. We will have to wait and see. But Hamilton comes out of the pits into 4th position and is 7.3 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz will probably do another pit stop for the end of this race. So, yeah. So it looks like Hamilton has at least secured 3rd position so far, and we'll have to wait and see what he can do from there. Alonso up in 5th position. Also, this is very good for McLaren. For Alpine, sorry. Alpine, they have this championship battle with McLaren for the most number of points that you can score in the most number of constructors' points. And Alpine are 5 points ahead of McLaren. And with Alonso up in 5th, Ocon in 8th, and now Norris only in 11th by the looks of it. Norris in 10th, sorry. Alpine are going to significantly outscore McLaren. It's looking pretty good for them. And yeah, I don't know what else I can really say, but it's looking good. All right. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Definitely helps out the channel. We're coming up to the halfway point of the race, and we've got everyone has done at least one pit stop. We've got Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon on 2 pit stops, but everyone else has done at least one. Hamilton and Verstappen and Norris have both served their penalties in the pit lane, and they will be So nobody has got any penalties on the actual circuit itself. Hamilton has the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 15.0. He was a second and a half faster than Carlos Sainz on the previous lap. And Sainz is on soft tyres and Hamilton's on mediums. This is absolutely ridiculous from Lewis Hamilton. So we'll wait and see what he can do from there. All right. Alrighty, let's see what else is going on the circuit. We've got Stroll on the back of Tsunoda trying to make an overtake. Stroll, in fact, being pretty clumsy yesterday when it came to battling with Seb Vettel, pushing Vettel all over the grass. We'll see what he can do against Tsunoda. He's on the slower tyres as well, but Stroll looking like he wants to make a move going into turn number 4, was too far back at turn number 1. And here he goes then into turn number 4, got the DRS, got the slipstream, too far back to send a dive bomb. So Stroll stays back in 15th position. All right, Hamilton once again closing the gap. Was previously 5.5 seconds, now down to 4.5 seconds. Hamilton setting fastest lap he set a fastest lap last time, and now green sectors all the way through. So, in fact, let's just follow Hamilton's lap. So on this map, I can follow each driver's sectors. So we've got Hamilton's now lap time as he is driving through. It's looking like yellow sectors now. I think he only did one push lap to warm up those tyres, get them up to temperature, and in the process setting a fastest lap of the race. But now just setting yellow and green sectors throughout the lap. And yeah. But do let me know. I can also compare between drivers. So say if I wanted to compare between Verstappen's pace and Carlos Sainz's pace, then it will show us who's setting faster sectors and stuff. So Verstappen is faster through the first sector. Once Carlos Sainz crosses the second sector line, we'll see that information as well. But yeah, it's all pretty interesting. So if you do want to, if you have any suggestions of who I should show, then there we go. Yeah, so there we go. Carlos Sainz is faster through the middle sector. But anyway, let's get back to looking at the actual race itself. George Russell has said, the engineers have said, let us know how the tyre is feeling. George Russell said the tyres are feeling good. I've done 8 laps on those medium tyres. He's got 38 laps left to go if he goes for another, if he just does that one stop. And yeah, Bottas also catching up to Alonso. I don't know who pointed that out in chat. GC Spotify pointed that out in chat. Thank you for pointing that out. Bottas catching up to Alonso, and Vettel sort of actually being dropped by Bottas, wasn't able to match his pace. And we'll wait and see what he can do. But if Bottas and Alonso get a little bit of a tussle, then Vettel is right there waiting for them to make an overtake. What's it mean when the driver's information row goes grey? To be honest, I have no clue. I think it just means, to be honest, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I think it means that they just crossed the line and they've done something. But yeah, I can't really tell you. It just happens sometimes, and we just go with it. The rest of the data is amazing, so there we are. Verstappen got a fastest first sector. Looks like he overtook Tsunoda. Got a very good top speed through the first sector. Let's just have a quick look at the top speed data that we've got. Yeah, Verstappen hitting 325 kilometers an hour going down the straight there, going significantly quicker than the rest of the field. I mean, the fastest is Esteban Ocon, but that was an absolute, that was a perfect slipstream that he got off the final corner, and that's how he got that top speed. But Verstappen, nicely done on Esteban Ocon, not Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, sorry, and then he'll be overtaking Lance Stroll in a couple of laps' time, or in fact, on this lap now, he is pretty close behind him, so yeah. All right, let's just switch this over to the tires, and there. We are 198 subscribers away from 50,000 subscribers. So go ahead, guys. That would be very cool to be in the first 50K. I mean, to be honest, we'll wait and see how the channel grows. I'm not like expecting it to blow up to 1 million or anything, but yeah, pretty cool that we're getting to 50K. Leclerc overtakes Mick Schumacher. Nicely done there from Leclerc. I mean, to be honest, the overtakes going into turn one, Schumacher didn't really fight it. So what can we say? But also Schumacher not doing an amazing job. He started the race in 12th, now down into 13th. But the thing is, there have been 2 DNFs behind him. So yeah, Schumacher not doing great. Not sure what I can really say, but his seat is at stake now, and he's got to put in some sort of battle. Otherwise, the seat has been rumored to at least go to Nico Hülkenberg. We'll wait and see what actually happens. Haas are yet to announce anything, but yeah, Schumacher not doing great this race. Alonso comes into the pits after doing 2 stints on medium tires. We'll see what lap he comes out on. What lap he comes out. What tires he comes out on. Yeah. Did Verstappen crash? So what happened to Verstappen? Yeah, he had a collision with Hamilton, then got a 5-second time penalty. So he came out into. So that's why he's all the way back down there. He had to come in for an extra pit stop to change his front wing, and also had a 5-second time penalty. So that's why he's right at the bottom of the pack. Yeah. All right, Hamilton, though, up in 4th position and is gaining on Carlos Sainz. So this could be a pretty close battle here. Carlos Sainz on old soft tyres, Hamilton on fresh mediums. The gap is 1.5 seconds. Hamilton was, 7/10 of a second quicker on the previous lap. So pretty quick there from Lewis Hamilton. We'll wait and see what he can do, catching up now to Carlos Sainz. Right. The data's just done a quick refresh there. Yeah. All right, let's see. We've reached the halfway point of the race, just gone slightly ahead of it as well. And Russell's still leading the way, and the gap, in fact, getting bigger and bigger as Carlos Sainz comes into the pits. Oh, we've just ruined. We could have had a battle between Sainz and Hamilton, but Sainz into the pits now, doing a 2-stop strategy. He's just narrowly ahead of Valtteri Bottas after he comes out from the pit exit, and yeah, it's. So Ferrari, I think the highest that they can really realistically get is 4th position. It all depends on what the top 3 do. Are they going to go conserve their tyres for the remaining half of this race, or are they going to go on and try and potentially? I mean, I don't know. What are they going to do? Are they going to go do an extra pit stop? We'll have to wait and see. Thing is, if one driver stays out, then the rest of them have to stay out. Otherwise, it's too risky to try and catch up again. So we'll have to wait and see. But if there is one pit stop in the top 3, I think the rest of the drivers will continue to pit. It's all unpredictable, to be honest. I mean, there's so many different permutations, so yeah, it's a bit pointless to me try and guess. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. We're getting pretty close to 1,500 likes, so that would be wonderful if we did, and we're getting extremely close to our subscriber goal as well. So yeah, while you're hitting the like button, go ahead and press and subscribe as well. I'm streaming for the Abu Dhabi race as well, so I will be commentating for that, the qualifying and the full race as well. And yeah, I'll be doing next season as well. So yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. What happened to Ricciardo and Magnussen? Ricciardo hit Magnussen. Magnussen spun. Magnussen, after spinning, hit Ricciardo. So both drivers out of the race. That's basically what happened. Guan Yu Zhou comes into the pits for the second occasion now, out on... Oh, actually, is that Zhou's second pit stop? I think it is, yeah. Zhou out for a second time, doing his second pit stop. He's out on the soft tyres. He's going to do 39 laps on soft tyres. Oh, no, sorry. 30 laps on soft tyres. That is extremely optimistic there from Alfa Romeo. I don't know exactly what's going on, but... Oh, look at this. Carlos Sainz, fastest lap of the race. A 1 minute 14.7. That's faster than Hamilton by 0.3 of a second. Yeah. Verstappen has moved his way up into P11, slowly but surely making up those places. He's got 21 lap old soft tyres though, so he's going to have to do at least one more pit stop before going to the end of this race. So all of the progress that he has made, if he does pit, he's going to go all the way down into 13th spot, and then have to gain 20 seconds back. So we will have to wait and see. Now only less than 100 subscribers away from the subscriber goal. Wow. Yeah, I will make a thank you video for this because, I mean, 50k is such a big target, big goal. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Right, we've got team radio from Fernando Alonso. He's currently in 13th place. Let's have a listen.
Sorry for that. Still in a good position?
Yeah, don't worry. We make the time now.
Okay, so Fernando Alonso is still in a good position. He's going to try and make up the time now. Yeah, what else can I really say? Alonso's on a fresh set of mediums. He's going to try and catch up as soon as he can. Carlos Sainz is very much flying now, but the thing is, the gap is 17 seconds to Lewis Hamilton. So even if he sets quali laps for the entire rest of this race, the gap that he's not going to catch up. So it's a bit pointless. He just needs to conserve his tyres and make sure not to crash, and that should be good enough for him. Right. Also, we haven't talked about Leclerc much. Leclerc, I think he got damage at the start of, like, when he had that incident with Norris. Got a little bit of damage maybe, and he's not doing so well. Still in 9th place, stuck behind Lando Norris. He's exactly 1 second behind him. So we could see an overtake happening here between Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. We'll wait and see how this goes down. Norris is very much in his, it's in his strategy option to just defend against Leclerc. Leclerc's on old soft tyres. They're going to start wearing out now. I mean, it's around about 18 laps or so, 18 to 20 laps on soft tyres before they start properly wearing out. And yeah, Leclerc has reached that point. So Lando Norris is well within his capabilities of just defending and defending for the rest of this race, and it would be very interesting to watch because I've seen battles with Leclerc and Norris. I mean, I think it was 2019, I want to say 2019 Hungary or 2020. I'm not sure exactly, but there was some very good battles between Norris and Leclerc. So let's see what's happening there. Gap down to 0.8 of a second. So Leclerc slowly but surely catching up, and we'll wait and see what he can do. Also, guys, remember to stay hydrated. Drinking water and staying hydrated, very important. We are 70% water, so go ahead and have a drink, and I will too. All right. Hamilton now 2 seconds off the back of Sergio Perez. This is going to be a good fight. So we've got two battles going on now. Leclerc on the back of Lando Norris, and then we're going to have Hamilton very soon on the back of Sergio Perez. This is going to be interesting to watch. See how those drivers do it. Verstappen now overtakes Mick Schumacher and up into the points-paying positions. But of course, 24 lap old soft tyres will be a matter of time before he comes into the pits. And yeah, we've got 10,000 people watching as well. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And yeah, it's been wonderful. 10,000 people, that is absolutely mind-blowing. And well, yeah, this our subscribers as well, getting close to 50k. I mean, it's getting more and more ridiculous as we speak. All right then, so between Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. Here they come through now, turn number 11. Both drivers hugging the inside apex, trying to get the shortest line possible. And Charles Leclerc within 0.8 of a second of Lando Norris. That's a tenth closer than he was last time. The slipstream and the DRS, he has got both of them. And here he comes now through the final couple of corners, down the back straight, barreling down at 320 kilometers an hour, gaining and gaining and gaining, going into turn number 1, plays it safe here. It was a bit too far back for a dive bomb. I mean, it would have been ridiculous, and Norris would have had to leave a lot of space for Leclerc there. But this time, 0.4 of a second only is the gap, and now going through into turn number 4, 0.3, and here they go now. DRS, it has been activated, slipstream as well. Leclerc pulls out to the left, but to no avail. No overtake done on this lap. We'll wait and see what happens on the next. Hamilton closing that gap up. It's now 1.3 seconds between Perez and Hamilton, and we could potentially see a little bit of a duel there between the two drivers. Right. All right, so let's see what's going to go on there. This is looking exciting. Hamilton 1.2 seconds away, so next lap will be the lap that Hamilton gets within DRS of Sergio Perez. And now between Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc pushing Norris through the middle sector practically now. He's right on the tail of him. So he's going to drop back a little bit to get an ideal slingshot. We're only 25 subscribers away, guys. 25 subscribers. Yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. I think what you guys are trying to do are maybe trying to be the 50,000th, like the 50,000th subscriber, but yeah. All right. Wow, your commentary is improving every race. Well, I hope that is the case. Try to provide you guys with the best possible commentary. Yeah, very much do appreciate it. All right, Hamilton within DRS range of Sergio Perez. Charles Leclerc sends one down the inside of turn number 1. Lando Norris fighting him back into turn number 4. Can he make the move? No, he cannot. Leclerc, I mean, that was a brilliant move. He was slightly behind Lando Norris and then really late onto the brakes. And what a move from Charles Leclerc. Lando Norris could do nothing about it. And Leclerc, the fact is, Leclerc's got the slower tyres. But now it'll be round number 2, Norris against Leclerc. And here comes our Hamilton versus Perez. 0.3 is the gap going through the first corner. Hamilton is looking to make a corner up into turn number 4. So here he goes now. Hamilton down the straight, purple first sector. He's got the DRS, and he looks to the inside, side by side into turn number 4. Backs out of it though. Wow, what a little duel there. Now side by side, in fact, going through into turn number 5. Hamilton and Perez. Wow, this is crazy. Hamilton backs out of it. It's a single file part of the circuit. Also, we've hit 50k. Thank you everyone for subscribing. Yeah, I mean 50k is wonderful. I don't know what to say. I mean 50,000 people is an absolutely ridiculous number. I mean I can't even imagine like 1,000 people in a room or in like a stadium. But here we are, 50,000. That is crazy. Yeah, I will be making a thank you video after the season finishes. So yeah, be sure to have a listen to that if you're interested. I'll probably be doing some merch as well, but it's not going to be like F1 Gamer merch because let's be realistic. You guys are more interested in F1 than you are in me. So it'll be like the evolution of Formula 1 cars and like my Seb Vettel merch and stuff. Like I'll give you a channel update video on that though. But Hamilton this time sends one down the inside at turn number 1. Perez does little to fight it. Perez going for the switchback though. He gets a bad entry into turn number 1, but a very good exit. And here he comes now down through turn number 3 and 4. What can he do? No, he cannot. He cannot make an overtake. Sergio Perez not able to make an overtake. He couldn't execute that switchback properly against Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton was basically what Hamilton did was he parked the car in the correct spot where Perez couldn't actually accelerate to actually do the switchback. Otherwise, he would have ended up getting damaged. So Hamilton using his years of experience very wisely, placing the car in the correct position, and Sergio Perez unable to make an overtake there. So it is a Mercedes 1-2, guys. Mercedes 1-2, and the gap is 10 seconds between Russell and Hamilton. 10 seconds. So I definitely think, I mean, with what, 27, 26 laps remaining, we could see Hamilton close up now. Stefan Langer, congrats on the 50k from Germany. Love your comment. I think it's meant to say commentary, but yeah, very much do appreciate the donation, Stefan. And yeah, I mean that's crazy. Thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, just making it possible so I can stream to you guys every single weekend. And yeah. All right. You're watching Sky, but you muted it because you like my commentary. Well, that is pretty crazy. If you like me more than Sky commentary, that must be I guess that's a pretty good achievement actually. Yeah. Leclerc comes into the pits for the final occasion. He's on soft tyres. He's got 25 laps remaining on those soft tyres. He'll be able to do that. He did it in the sprint race yesterday. And we got Bottas and Vettel both into the pits now. So both drivers doing 21 laps on the mediums. See, this is extremely strange now because Vettel did, I think, 24 laps on soft tyres and then does 21 laps on mediums. Why didn't you just do 21 laps on the soft tyres and then more laps on the mediums? It's very strange, very strange. But here they are, Bottas and Vettel both pitting on the same occasion. Vettel comes out on mediums, Bottas comes out on softs. We'll wait and see how that plays out for them. But yeah. All right, will Russell need to pit? To be honest, I have no idea. Russell, last time over the radio, we got some information that his tyres were going well, his tyres were feeling good. And Hamilton, we know, he's master at conserving tyres anyway. So both drivers could probably go to the end of the race on those tyres. We will just have to wait and see. Yeah, all right. So let's see. Yeah. All right, we got some team radio from Lewis Hamilton. This is before he overtook Perez, but let's have a listen anyway.
Yeah, Lewis thinking about going to Strat 8 now. Readiness for the overtakes.
Right, Strat 8 is the attacking mode for Mercedes. Mercedes is Strat 8 is the full send mode. For Red Bull, it's Strat 7. But the overtake that Hamilton did was absolutely brilliant, just round the outside. Perez, he left space for Perez. Perez tried to take the opportunity, but it was too far. So there we are. All right. I mean, thing is, right, Russell will not. He will defend tooth and nail to keep this first position to get his first win in Formula One. So yeah, this is, and Hamilton's going to fight tooth and nail to keep his record going of wins in consecutive seasons. So all I can say, both drivers very much wanting to go and win this race, of course, as you would. But both drivers, it means a lot to them. They haven't got a win this season. Russell hasn't got a win in his career. And this is going to be extremely spicy. Perez comes into the pits now. There was no point in him staying. Well, actually, once he's come into the pits now, he's going to go out on the soft tyres, I'm presuming, and then he's going to have to catch up 12 seconds to Carlos Sainz with 24 laps remaining. So that's half a second a lap for Carlos Sainz to catch up to. We'll wait and see what he can do. Also, Max Verstappen, I must point this out. He's done 30 laps on soft tyres. That is absolutely ridiculous. Pirelli said around about 24 laps or so that they're going to start wearing out. And Max Verstappen has been doing 30 laps on them, 31 laps now. Big props to Max Verstappen. Also, guys, we're getting close to the end of the race. Who is your driver of the day? Who's it going to be? I'm actually not sure who I would vote for driver of the day. Maybe Alonso, because he started the race down all the way in 17th, I think, 17th position, all the way up into 6th. But the thing is, Alonso's still got a pit stop left. So, yeah, I don't know where he's going to end up. Maybe Bottas. Bottas was down in 14th, I think, up into 7th. So that's good from him. I know, who will your driver of the day be? Hamilton, Max, Yuki, unfortunately, I know, in 17th place. Yeah. Tuned in from Kenya, wow. All right. So let's see then. 10,000 people watching. By the way, if you guys haven't hit the like button as well, be sure to do so. We've just hit 50k, but I guess the more subscribers, the merrier. Don't know what else I can really say. Do a chat poll. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do a poll on because I don't know who are we going to say is, because there's so many different people that we could put as driver of the day. Yeah. We'll see. All right. So Hamilton, what's he done? Hamilton comes into the pits. Ooh, Hamilton into the pits. So is Verstappen. Hamilton comes out on old soft tires, so he's going to be able to get to the end of this race on this. But yeah, they're 6 laps old soft tires. I don't know why Hamilton has come into the pits, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think it must have been his tires were worn out too much, so he wasn't able to go to the end of the race. But we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Also, if Russell's into the pits as well, both Mercedes drivers come into the pits, so it looks like everyone's doing a 2-stop. and Stroll as well, just coming into the pits now. So everyone has done a 2-stop race. And then we have Leclerc, Verstappen, and Albon on a 3-stop race. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, that's a strategy for this race. I mean, thing is, track temperature up at 50 degrees at the start of the race. I think that slightly skewed it towards a 2-stop. And, yeah. Russell still narrowly in the lead. I mean, look at that. He pits and he's still ahead of Carlos Sainz. That is an absolutely enormous advantage there. Right, so we've got 21 laps left. And we have Hamilton and Perez chasing down Carlos Sainz for a podium position. We'll have to wait and see what they can do. But there we are. Why is the lap count showing pit status? Oh, because basically the lap count on this website isn't actually very good. So what I have to do is take a screenshot of what the driver in first place is, and if they go into the pits, it says pits instead of a lap. But it fixes itself in a second. All right. So Hamilton is 7.5 seconds behind George Russell. He is 5.7 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. We'll wait and see what happens there. But the fastest middle sector there from Lewis Hamilton, that indicates quite some serious pace there. Also, Russell's tyres are 3 laps older than Hamilton's. These are the tyres that they used in qualifying, I think. So they've been used up a little bit, but not too much. Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 14.1. In fact, what we can do is follow George Russell's lap here. So here he goes through the first sector, yellow through the first sector, green through a couple of parts, and we'll wait and see how he can do. But we're very much going to have to keep comparing Hamilton and Russell, and we'll see if an overtake can occur. Hamilton gains 2.5 seconds in the pit stops because he got an undercut, so he ends up staying ahead of George Russell. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But Russell purple through turn number 4, and then kind of going green everywhere else. So not the maximum pace that he's extracting out of those tyres. Of course, he's still got 20 laps left to go. So yeah, can't go maximum attack just yet. But both drivers very much on the attack, and we'll wait and see what happens there. All right, I will keep you updated on those gaps as well. Hamilton looks like he's closing up onto the back of Sainz. Sainz on old medium tyres, Hamilton on fresh softs. So pretty big of a pace difference. It's 3.5 tenths per lap of a pace difference there. So we'll wait and see what happens. Also, I guess since we've hit our subscriber goal, I guess I can just change it. But there we are. What happened to Albon and Latifi? They've been grayed out because they've been lapped, but I can just, there we go. But yeah, they've been lapped, so that's what's happened there. All right, let's just turn that off. But George Russell, there he goes, fastest lap of the race there for George Russell, and goes, I think half a second faster than Lewis Hamilton. So George Russell not being very serious here, putting the pedal to the metal, and he's not going to give this race win up to Lewis Hamilton. At least, I mean, team orders, they're not even going to listen. If Russell gets a team order radio to be like, oh, let Hamilton through, let him keep his record. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. What's the yellow flag been caused by? Is this just debris, or is there an actual proper issue that we've got a yellow? Oh, Lando Norris has spun out by the looks of it. So we have a yellow flag on the circuit. Lando Norris has stopped. I'll find out exactly what's happened there to Norris. But currently yellow flag conditions, and I'll see what happens there. Does it go to virtual safety car? Does it go to what? Yeah. Okie dokes then. Norris still stranded on the side of the track. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. All right. No info just as yet. I mean, they're just keeping the yellow flags out. Norris is clearly stopped on the side of the track. Maybe he had an issue or something, and then stopped near it. Like, you can stop near a pit exit. Yeah. Lando Norris, mechanical issues. He's stopped on the side of the track. He isn't in any exact danger, really, of getting hit by any car, but I think they should at least put a virtual safety car out. In fact, that's exactly what they've done. We've got a virtual safety car out on the circuit now. So drivers can make pit stops. Fernando Alonso does. In fact, Alonso's going to gain so much out of this because he needed to do one more pit stop because he did 3 stints on mediums. So here he's out he'll come out on soft tyres now for the remaining 19 laps or so. But yeah, we're under virtual safety car conditions now. Alonso pits, comes out. I think he'll come out behind quite a lot of drivers, in fact. Oh, here he goes down into 9th. But I guess you're still gaining time. You're still getting 10 seconds worth of race time. Verstappen already made his pit stop, unfortunately. He pitted 4 laps ago, so didn't have much to gain from that, but it is what it is. Sometimes the luck works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. All right. Also, guys, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. Definitely helps out the channel. One other thing that I had to say was that Ferrari... Ooh, Carlos Sainz coming into the pits. Interesting. Well, if he comes into the pits now, where is he? He's going to come out behind Perez, maybe? I'm not particularly sure. But that just leaves that leaves no Sainz in the way of Hamilton and Russell. It's just a straight 18 laps or so now. 17 laps till we get to the end of this race, and we've got Carlos Sainz coming out of the pit lane in on what tyres? I suspect soft tyres. Yeah, don't know exactly why they've done that. I mean, they could have went to the end of the race. Admittedly, Perez might have caught up, but I guess you can play it safe. Who knows? Who knows? Still under virtual safety car conditions. Norris has switched off his car, so his GPS has gone. But yeah, they still need a crane to carry the car away. And yeah. All right. Latifi also pits. He comes out on soft tyres. So it looks like the majority of the field is out on soft tyres. We've got Gasly on mediums, Perez on mediums, and Albon on mediums, and everyone else is out on softs. So there we are. Yep, double DNF for McLaren, and both Alpine in the points. This is the exact opposite of what McLaren wanted. For you guys that don't know, McLaren and Alpine, they're like 5 points away from each other in the Constructors' Championship. And if you end up getting 4th place in the Constructors instead of the 5th place, we're under full safety car conditions, guys. Full safety car. I don't know why they took so long to change it, but we're in full safety car conditions. But basically, if you end up in 4th place rather than 5th place, you get an extra 4 million euros in prize money, and the teams definitely want the extra 4 million euros. So yeah, it's not worked out in McLaren's favour. They needed to gain some more points on Alpine, but here are Alpine in 8th and 9th place. That'll be 2 points for Alonso and 4 points for Ocon. So that's that gap, which was previously five points, is now down to it's now up to 11 points. So it's shifted towards Alpine's favour, and we'll wait and see what happens there. All right, full safety car conditions, and this is closing it all up, guys. It's between George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. This is going to be so good to watch. George Russell, of course, going for his first ever race win. Hamilton going for his record of keeping a race win every single season. Perez is going to close right up. So is Car. I mean, Ferrari did the good strategy here. They've pitted onto soft tyres. Hopefully, they'll overtake Sergio Perez in the process. Max Verstappen, that's going to help him out. He's going to catch up to Alonso, potentially gain up a couple of positions as well. But right then, we're under safety car conditions. It'll probably be quite soon by the time to pick up Lando Norris's car. It won't take too long. So the safety car won't be as long as it was at the start of the race. But it depends on if the FIA decide to let the lap cars unlap themselves. I'm not particularly too sure. I'm not sure when the FIA decide to do it and when they decide not to, but yeah. All right, we are on the second safety car restart of this race, and we make sure to vote for your driver of the day. To be honest, I think I'm going to vote for Valtteri Bottas, up in 5th place in an Alfa Romeo when he started, I think 14th or something, is very good. So Valtteri Bottas is my driver of the day. Let me know what yours is in the chat, and I will make sure to read it. All right. And yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do that. We're getting pretty close to now 2,000 likes. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed as well, that would be wonderful. All right, let's have a listen to some of these team radios. We've got team radio from Lando Norris. This is when he obviously had his engine issue, so let's have a listen.
I've lost power.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Lost power. So that was that for Lando Norris. Right, here we are then under safety car conditions. Have the drivers been allowed to unlap themselves? Tsunoda coming up to the back of the queue now, and so is Nicholas Latifi. Tsunoda, Latifi and Albon have been lapped. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Are they allowed to overtake or are they not? Looks like Albon's still in between Russell and Hamilton. So if they are allowed to overtake, then that would mean Russell and Hamilton just have a straight fight off the safety car restart. If they aren't allowed to overtake, then there'll be Russell, then there'll be Albon, and then there'll be Hamilton. So there'll be a little blue flag where Albon has to get out of the way as soon as possible. Thing is, though, that little blue flag will probably put Hamilton out the DRS range, and Russell will just bolt. He'll use all of his battery to get out of DRS range. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and what the FIA decide to do. But we've got now 15 laps remaining of this race, and yeah, a safety car restart with Verstappen, with Russell and Hamilton fighting for the lead. Okie dokie then. Hamilton wants the win so he can give George no mercy. Well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. How long is the safety car? We have no idea how long the safety car is. I mean, it shouldn't be too long because Norris's car parked up pretty safely, but it was once again not near a thing behind us, like not near an escape road. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how long it takes to recover the car. They're still not letting lap cars by the way. The rest of the field hasn't caught up yet. So yeah, the safety car will probably be another maybe 2 or 3 laps, and then we're gonna have a little battle between Russell and Hamilton, which will be great. Yeah. Also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. We've got nearly 11,000 people watching. And if you haven't subscribed as well, that would be wonderful. Yeah. 10 lap for sprint finish, that would be wonderful. Yeah, 10 laps of racing. I mean, we had similar stuff in the past couple of races. We had, and in fact, it was Brazil 2019 where we had a sprint of 3 laps or something. And we had Vettel and Leclerc. I think it was caused by Vettel and Leclerc crashing, and then Albon got spun around, and he wasn't going to get his first podium or something, and then Gasly went on to get a podium on a drag race to the finish. So little sprint races caused by safety cars at the end of the race at Brazil have gone to prove that we get some pretty good racing out of them. And especially when you got Russell and Hamilton. I mean, like those two drivers at the front of the pack, it's always going to be a lot of action. We'll wait and see. Hopefully the safety car comes in next lap. I think it should. It's been long enough for them to clear up Lando Norris's car, and I think they're actually just driving through, and Lando Norris's car is nowhere to be seen. So good indications, and yeah. Ooh, okay. George Russell's came over the radio. He's asked, so what are we doing? Are we racing or are we securing the 1-2? And George Russell is told that they are racing, and he said, just be respectful. So George Russell has the slightly older tyres, and Hamilton also has a slipstream. But the thing is, Hamilton will also be under pressure from Sergio Perez. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Also, they are letting the lapped cars through, so it will just be Russell and Hamilton. Just Russell and Hamilton, no one in between. Alex Albon has been let through, so will Yuki Tsunoda will be let through, and so will Latifi as well. So Tsunoda and Latifi will be let through, and then we will have the full safety car restart procedure, and that will be wonderful to watch. Yeah, very much looking forward to this. Look at this. Albon is literally just flying away from the entire of the field. He is literally, I mean, Albon, literal goat here. Yeah. Also, yes, who pointed this out in the chat? Have I just missed it? Someone said in chat, Science has a chance for a podium, and it was literally just here. But all right, someone said it. I can't find it now. But Sainz definitely does have a chance for a podium. It's 10. He's got 10 lap old soft tires. Perez has got 10 lap old mediums. The mediums are 3.5 tenths slower per lap compared to the softs. So it's looking good there. It's looking good indeed. All right. Tsunoda is still lapped. I don't know why Tsunoda hasn't been unlapped yet. He's currently making his way through the pack between Sainz and I think it's between Sainz and Perez, but yeah, Tsunoda still has to unlap himself. I don't know why he hasn't unlapped yet. I think, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, so the Alpine pit wall. Oh, look at this inter-team rivalry once again. Alpine have said to Esteban Ocon, Fernando has a tyre advantage. Let him through nice and clean. So, yeah, Alonso's got 6-lap-old soft tyres, but most of those tyres are under safety car conditions. And then we have Ocon on 14-lap-old soft tyres. And yeah, they're a bit more used up. So Alpine are saying, let Alonso through, let him overtake Vettel, potentially challenge Leclerc. We'll wait and see, does Ocon comply or does he not? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, all right. I think it might be safety car ending on this lap. Tsunoda is making his way through, still hasn't got past everyone. So yeah, pretty strange, but I don't know why it's taking so long. I think it's because the drivers haven't been told that Tsunoda's overtaking them. So it's still taking them a while to get that. Oh, in fact, no, never mind. Tsunoda isn't being overtaken. We are having a full safety car. Oh, no, never mind. False alarm. I mean, George Russell, what are you doing? You're falling back more than 10 car lengths from the safety car. Yeah, so hopefully now Tsunoda, yeah, I think that's what they're doing now. So Tsunoda is now making his way through past Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, and Russell, and then we'll be... Oh, wait, what is this? The safety car's just come in. This is, I mean, they're doing some pretty weird stuff here at the FIA, but the safety car has been in this lap and we are going racing. So let's just turn that back to a green flag. And here goes then. George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, 1v1 battle at the top of the field. And here it goes then. Into turn 1, Leclerc's got past Bottas, but Russell and Hamilton still very much nose to tail. Perez is in the mix as well, and Sainz on the back of Perez. Here they go through into turn number 4. Sainz is side by side down the straight. He's got the slipstream. On those fresher tyres, brakes slightly later than Sergio Perez, but Perez swoops around the outside and Sainz is pinched on the apex, and nothing Sainz can do. So Russell, though, 8 tenths a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton already. If he can break that DRS, then it is going to be extremely helpful for him. 9.5 tenths already. I mean, this is pretty fast from George Russell. In fact, we can probably compare... between Russell and Hamilton. I mean, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to tell because they'll both be blue. But I think Russell is, Russell's quicker through the first sector at least. And then now through the middle sector, it is once again Russell being quicker. Let's see. Oh, so I think the driver that you select first. Okay, never mind. But anyway, Russell going faster than Hamilton, and the gap was nearly 1 second. But the problem is Hamilton's got the slipstream, so he's coming right back at him, and it's just going to be a cat and mouse now. Cat and mouse. Mercedes have said no team orders. Also, Ocon did let Alonso by. Ocon, the Alpine radios told him to let Alonso by because he had fresher tyres. Ocon did so gracefully, so nicely done there from Esteban Ocon. But let's see now what George Russell and Lewis Hamilton can do there. The gap is hovering around about 1 second. George Russell leading the way into purple middle sector on the last occasion. 4 tenths faster than Hamilton's. We'll wait and see what he can do now. Alonso, I mean, nicely done there from Esteban Ocon. He let Alonso through. Alonso swiftly overtakes Valtteri Bottas up into 6th position. So nice job there from Fernando Alonso. Alpines look like they're going to be scoring out McLaren by a lot of points now. Also, Verstappen, right on the back of Esteban Ocon, making overtake into turn number 10. I mean, okay, right, he backs out of it because turn number 10 is very risky to make an overtake, but he's got the rest of the straight coming up now, and it should be pretty straightforward for the Dutch driver. And yeah, Russell, fastest lap of the race, and the gap, most critically, is 1.1 seconds. 1.1 seconds, and he's going through the DRS detection point now, and it is out of DRS range. DRS has been activated 2 laps after the safety car comes in, so DRS is now activated, but Russell is out of the DRS, so Hamilton doesn't get DRS now. So Russell, now all he's got to do is survive the intense pressure that Hamilton will be mounting on him. He's got 10 laps left to go, and he's just going to be, Hamilton will be pushing away. And I mean, what else can I really say? There's a couple of things that can probably force a mistake from Russell. There are a couple of corners where it's like you got to avoid the bumps, got to brake in a straight line when it's pretty difficult to do so. And Russell could crack there. But we know Russell, very, very consistent driver, and we'll wait and see what he does. So here they go. Now, lap number 62 of 71. George Russell leading the way from Lewis Hamilton. 1.2 seconds is the gap. Sainz right on the back of Sergio Perez. We'll see what he can do. Sainz was extremely close, in fact, on the safety car restart to make an overtake, but got pinched at the apex. So couldn't make the overtake there. But now this time we got Leclerc as well on the battling away with Sainz. So Sainz battling for... Well, we've got a 3-way battle now for 3rd position. That's going to be exciting to watch as the two Mercedes at the front have their little squabble. So let's see then. Sergio Perez 0.2 ahead of Carlos Sainz. They're getting closer and closer, and side by side now. Sainz pulls out ahead of Sergio Perez into the braking zone later onto the brake, and makes that move look extremely easy. He's got those fresher tyres, and he's done that very nicely there from Carlos Sainz. So Sainz up onto the podium, and then we have Sergio Perez in 4th place, and Charles Leclerc behind him. Charles Leclerc has 4-lap older soft tyres, but soft tyres nevertheless are still faster than the mediums, and nicely done there from Carlos Sainz, and we'll see what Leclerc can do. Leclerc now 0.4 behind Sergio Perez, so Perez on those mediums will be looking like it's just going to be dropping further back and back. It's not looking good for the Red Bull boys. Verstappen in 7th and Perez in 4th, and looks like they both haven't got that much pace really. Admittedly, Verstappen just overtook Ocon a lap or two ago, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Is Mercedes faster than the Ferrari or the Red Bull car? To be honest, it's pretty close to say. I'm not particularly sure in race conditions like right now. But yeah. All right. Also, here we go then. Leclerc against Sergio Perez into turn number 1. Leclerc just gets the deal sealed at turn number 1, and there's nothing Perez can do about it. And here comes Fernando Alonso. In fact, Perez about to lose 2 positions in 3 corners. Fernando Alonso looks to the inside too far back to make an overtake, but Sergio Perez very much losing out here. And we've got a Red Bull 5-7. I mean, Red Bull have won the championship, and they're down in... Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. They won the championship, and now they're in 5th and 6th, and we've got Mercedes up in 1st and 2nd. Right. Just also an update on the gap at the front. We've got Russell 1.3 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So a little mistake here and there could mean Hamilton gets that DRS, and it is very much game on then. But we'll have to wait and see. Not that close yet. We're almost at 2,000 likes, and we're pretty close to hitting this new subscriber goal. But yeah, if you're enjoying the commentary, guys, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm streaming for the race in Abu Dhabi, and I will be streaming all of next year as well. So yeah, go ahead. You won't regret it, hopefully. Yeah. Both McLarens are out, that is correct. Norris with mechanical issues, and Daniel Ricciardo got involved with a crash. Stroll overtakes Vettel. Stroll, of course, on those fresher and faster soft tyres compared to Vettel, so it was pretty straightforward for him to make that overtake. And also, Alonso makes the overtake on Perez into turn number 4. Perez tries to fight this one a lot harder than he tried to fight the one against Leclerc. In fact, right on the back of Fernando Alonso, but there's nothing he can do. Alonso's on the fresher tyres and on the faster tyres as well. And we've got a Red Bull 6-7. A Red Bull 6-7, that is so unexpected. So unexpected indeed. Also, guys, remember to stay hydrated. Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick drink now because my throat's hurting a little bit. But yeah, we're 70% water, so you might as well go ahead and have some. All right. So back up at the front. I mean, to be honest, all I'm doing is staring at this gap between Russell and Hamilton. 1.2, 1.3. That's all I can see. And it's not getting any bigger. It's not getting any smaller. Their lap times are practically identical. I mean, Russell 1 minute 40.057. Hamilton 1 minute 40.024. There is a 32 millisecond gap, 33 millisecond gap between the two drivers. That is how close these two drivers are. So consistent. Yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. There are only 5 laps remaining now for George Russell to continue. And yeah. All right. Gasly makes an overtake on Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher not fighting this one particularly hard either. And the fact is, Mick Schumacher's on the soft. Admittedly, they are slightly older softs, but Gasly's on those mediums and still able to make that overtake. So, yeah, not a good look there for Mick Schumacher. We'll wait and see what happens to him. And yeah. Ooh, also, look at this. Max Verstappen catching up to Sergio Perez. Is Verstappen just going to send one down the inside? We will have to wait and see. And yeah, gap down to 1.1 seconds. We haven't seen this in a while. It's always just been 1.2 and 1.3. And as soon as I say that, it's back up to 1.2 seconds. I mean, I must have like some sort of reverse commentator's curse. We've had it for the past couple of races now. But yeah. Right, let's see if we've got any team radio from the drivers. If we've got some team radios between let's have a listen. We've got team radio between Esteban from Lance Stroll, so let's have a listen.
The tyres are 3 laps newer than Bottas's. Soft, he's soft as well. He's struggling. So Sebastian's going to let you through. Then we have a good go at Bottas.
He can keep going if he wants. I think he has the pace.
He doesn't. He's going to let you by. He's letting you by.
Also, Lance being actually very nice there, saying that Vettel can stay ahead because he doesn't think Stroll has the pace. Well, he thinks Vettel's got the pace, but yeah, nevertheless, pretty decent there from Lance Stroll. Now he's going to try and attack Valtteri Bottas, but 1.3 seconds is the gap, and yeah, it's not closing up that much. Gap back, once again down to 1.2 seconds for 1.1 seconds between Russell and Hamilton. It's nearly 1 second. Ooh, this is spicy. It looks like Russell made a little bit of a mistake coming out the third sector, and that has cost him well, very much. And here they go through now the first sector. Looks like Russell's deploying a bit of his battery because the gap's gone a bit back up again. And we've got, 4 laps of racing left now. And yeah, the gap is getting closer and closer. We could get a final lap overtake. This would be, or at least a final lap battle. That would be absolutely tremendous to watch. So yeah, don't leave the stream just yet, though. We have no idea what's going to happen here. The gap is constantly changing. We're extremely close to 2,000 likes as well. We're like 63 likes away. So yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. But yeah, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this race. We got Hamilton and Russell 1.3 seconds now. I mean, it's just hovering there. It's teasing us. It's like, oh, he's so close to DRS range, but he's not within it just yet. Gosh, right. Gasly overtakes Guan Yu Zhou. Nicely done. Gasly overtaking Schumacher and Zhou in the space of 3 laps. So Gasly's got some progress to make, and he's also going to catch up to the back of Vettel pretty soon. He's got 8-lap pressure tyres, so that should be pretty good for him there. Yeah, all right. Gap 1.2 seconds once again. It was 1.1 seconds when I started talking. Now it's down to 1.2. God, this is exciting. Right. Lap number 69 of 71, guys. We're on lap number 69. That is extremely nice. Yeah, all of the drivers, in fact, on lap number 69, except for Yuki Tsunoda, who is still lapped because, yeah, he didn't get let through on the safety car. But all of the drivers on lap number 69, very nice, very nice. So we've got George Russell still in the lead of this race, 1.3 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And we've only got 2 laps left now. 2 laps left. Can I show ERS levels? Unfortunately, I cannot show ERS levels. I can show you the RPM that everyone's in. I can show you the gears that the drivers are going on, but I unfortunately can't show you the ERS. That is private data for the teams. So yeah, they had it back in like 2012, I think, when you could see the ERS levels or something in the cars, but unfortunately not anymore. So yeah. All right, Schumacher actually getting up onto the back of Zhou, so we'll see what Schumacher can do. overtaking Guan Yu Zhou in the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, the gap now, the first time I think it's been up into 1.4 seconds. And as I say that, back down to 1.3. We're on lap number 70 now of 71. And yeah, wow. George Russell, gap up to 1.5 seconds. George Russell's pulling away. Hamilton's tyres are slightly going off now, and Hamilton can't match Russell's pace. Russell doing a brilliant job here. Let's see what he can do. All right then. So here we go. Coming through turn number 11 for the penultimate occasion now. George Russell goes through the final corner, the final proper corner, with a gap of 1.7 seconds to Lewis Hamilton. 1.7 seconds. That is the largest it's been in the past 10 laps. They've been setting the most consistent lap times throughout this. Oh, in fact, Russell makes a little bit of a mistake coming out the final corner, gets the rear end, gets all squirrely, and he loses a bit of time there. Hamilton catches up a tiny little bit. All right. So... yeah, this is it now. Final lap of the race. Gap between Russell and Hamilton, 1.6 seconds. And we've got a gap between Alonso and Verstappen, 0.8 seconds. And we'll see if Schumacher can overtake Zhou on the final lap. But Russell has been leading this way absolutely magnificently. Started out in the lead of this race, hasn't actually dipped below first position for the entirety of this race, has been in the lead of this race for the entire thing. Oh no, he hasn't actually. Ignore that. But he's been in the net lead of this race for the entire time. Coming through the middle sector now for the final time, 1.5 seconds is the gap between Russell and Hamilton, and he's doing a brilliant job there. Just getting this car home, 30 laps on the soft tyres, absolutely incredible. The drivers were struggling to do 24 yesterday on the sprint race. George Russell has managed to do 30 laps on the soft tyres. Here he comes out of the final corner. Brilliant exit, no sort of issues, comes across the line to take his first ever Grand Prix victory. What a drive from George Russell. Lewis Hamilton comes home in second position. Carlos Sainz on the podium for Ferrari. And then we have Leclerc in fourth after having a nice recovery from an incident at the start of the race. Alonso from 17th all the way up into fifth. Absolutely brilliant. Verstappen recovering up to fifth after that incident with Hamilton at the start of the race as well. Good job from him. Sergio Perez, not really a good race for him. He started, I think, in 9th or 8th, then up into 7th only. So hasn't been the best of weekends for him. And then we got Esteban Ocon in 8th place, Valtteri Bottas in 9th, and Stroll in 10th. Mick Schumacher isn't able to make the overtake on the final lap, and that has been a brilliant Grand Prix. I will see if there's any team radio from George Russell. Just hold on a second. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I mean, we've got 12,000, 13,000 people that tuned in at one point. Thank you very, very much indeed. All right. So that is that. We haven't got any team ready from George Russell, but Mercedes get their first win of the season. And Hamilton still winless just as yet, but we've still got one race left in Abu Dhabi. I will be commentating for that, guys, so be sure you are subscribed and you've got that notification bell on. I hope you've enjoyed the commentary today. It's been an absolutely wonderful race, roller coaster of emotions the whole way through. The fastest lap of the race goes to George Russell, so he's got 26 points. He gets the win and the fastest lap. Great, well done there for George Russell. Wow. All right. Don't know exactly what else to say. It has been a brilliant race. Russell does not get a Grand Slam. Grand Slam is when you top every single practice session, you top every single quali session. Oh no, you get pole position and then you lead every single lap of the race. So George Russell hasn't got that, but nevertheless, yeah. All right, brilliant there for George. Hopefully we get some team radio. Oh, we've got George Russell team radio. Let's have a listen.
George Russell, you are a Formula One race winner.
Come on, team!
And it's
Come on! 1, 2, unbelievable! Come on! This is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning. Woo! So proud of all of you.
So, yeah, George Russell did an absolutely brilliant job. Also, just want to update you, Pierre Gasly got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he goes down, he goes down 2 positions into 14th place after that penalty has been applied. So that has been that, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We hit 50K today. We've got 13,000 people tuning in, 2,000 likes. It's been ridiculous. And of course, this race as well. That's just to top it all off. An absolutely wonderful race. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. I will see you next week for the Abu Dhabi qualifying and race. Hopefully you do tune in for that. Well, yeah, I'll definitely see you there. And yeah, it's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Have a nice morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you in a week. Cheers, fellas.